Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on absolute value inequalities. A special puzzle to warm up the brain cells is on the next slide. The answer will be given at the end. Enjoy. What is the meaning of the following? Good luck with it and see how you go. In an earlier video, I outlined how to solve equations and inequalities involving absolute values. They were straightforward examples which clearly outlined the concept behind absolute values. This video will highlight more involved examples. And here's our first example. The absolute value of m plus 1 is greater than 3. This is telling us that the expression within the absolute value signs is more than 3 units away from 0. Hence, we can split the above inequality into two separate inequalities. So the first inequality is m plus 1 is greater than 3, because m plus 1 is greater than 3 units away from 0. So when we simplify that, we get m is greater than 2. We also have m plus 1 is less than minus 3, because it has to be 3 units away from 0. So it has to be to the left of minus 3. So when we simplify that, we have m is less than minus 4. So when we graph these two, so m is greater than 2 is there, and m is less than minus 4 is here. Notice the circles are not full, because it's a less than sign, and that is the answer. A slightly more involved example. In this case, we're allowed to square both sides because both sides are positive. Okay, because they're absolute value signs on either side, and we know that 2 is positive, we can just square both sides to remove the absolute value signs. So that's what we've done here. A little bit of expansion to get us to there, more expansion to here, and all we've done here, we've just switched sides. So I've put this side here on the left hand side, this side here on the right hand side, which means that this is less than or equal to that, which is the same as that line there. Just a little bit of manipulation now. Subtracting x squared from both sides gets us to that line there. Simplification gets us to this line, and some more subtracting from both sides gets us to that line. You notice here we have 3 minus 18 and 15, so we can divide both sides by 3, and that gives us that inequality there. When we factorise, we get to this stage here. Now we find the zeros. That's very important. So if you look at that part there, what value of x will make this 0? 5. What value of x will make this 0? 1. So they're called the zeros of the inequality. There and there. Now we have to find what area satisfies the inequality. Notice when you've got these two dots here, there are 3 separate areas. This one, that one, and this one. So just test a number inside each of those areas. So if we test 0, if we substitute 0 in here, we will find that it does not work. So that area there is not correct. This is not part of the answer. Because 0 does not work, all of those numbers won't work. Let's test 6. If you put 6 in here, for example, let's do it. 6 minus 5 gives you 1. 6 minus 1 gives you 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 is less than or equal to 0, that's false. So that, when we substitute 6, that does not work. So here is the area that works in here. If we put 3 in, we'll see that it does work. So if you test 3, you'll find this area here works, and these dots are filled in because it's less than or equal to. And they are the answers. Here's a quick quiz to help you. Please check through the video at any time. The answer to the puzzle. What is the meaning of the following? Too intense. If you look at it carefully, just let your imagination run a little bit. I think you'll understand that one. Here are the answers to the quick quiz, and the video is at your disposal. If you found this video useful, please subscribe on the next slide. You will receive a notification when the next video is available. Please share with your friends. Hope to see you next lesson.